And it's also the same people who are making these laws who don't even have a vagina. Cause y'all be acting like you use so many forms of protection when you're fucking raw and he's nutting in you, and then you're surprised when you get pregnant.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing.
Jumbo everyone, welcome back, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about why I will never understand baby mama culture. A couple videos ago I talked about why I took my birth control out, how that kind of related to my abstinence journey, and now we're kind of going to be talking about, I guess, the different layers within that. So like abstinence, birth control, and now it's like baby mama. You're having sex, you're having unprotected sex, and you're choosing to bring a child into this world without being married. I know that my views can be very unconventional. A lot of people don't want to get married and they just stay lifelong partners for the rest of their life. Cool, that's y'all, but I'm talking about my people, okay? My people. Thank you. So especially like within the Black community, I feel like baby mama culture is very prevalent. But also, let's look at celebrities for a second. Kylie Jenner's a baby mama. Fucking Kourtney Kardashian was a baby mama. Khloe Kardashian is a baby mama. Like, those are baby mamas, and I feel like when they are famous white women, it doesn't matter. But then when it's projected towards the Black community, then obviously it matters in how they're being portrayed. So that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about, and like how I guess that perception can change the way in which we view people. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is a baby mama in my eyes? A baby mama to me is someone who chooses to have a baby for the free. The man hasn't given them anything. The man hasn't shown that they can provide the lifestyle to sustain a child. Okay, that is what I mean by a baby mama. You are raising this child essentially by yourself. Also, a lot of the times, when I say a lot of the times as well, these women are choosing to have this child thinking that it is going to change the way that the man looks at them, which is also another very selfish act that they can do. I even think that sometimes they think that by having this child, it's gonna make them love them more in a sense. And that's why to me, it's like, how the fuck is a child less of a commitment than marriage? That makes absolutely no sense to me. Children are over $100,000 a year, and yes, you can get married, whatever, and have that piece of paper, but like, marriage is legal protection. That's in my opinion. So that's where I'm like, you guys are having babies with these shitty ass men and then wondering why your kids come out fucked up. Ever thought of that? Baby mamas as well, in my eyes, are pick-me's, because you chose to pick a child over yourself, which at the end of the day, I know can seem like, oh my god, what the fuck? But it's just like, y'all need to start choosing yourself and making sure that you're actually in a position to be able to bring a child into this world instead of dumping them on whoever just is gonna take care of them. You chose to open your legs, have unprotected sex, and then have this child. So it's kind of like, what did you expect? Why were you not? That's why I can't be a baby mama. Like, you will never catch me being a baby mama. And if a man ever tries to impregnate me, abortion. The fuck I look like? Impregnate me against my will, should I say. But if this is a man I'm married to, or we're engaged to be married, basically, yes. Until this man is my husband, getting me a push gift, showing me that he wants to be, not only wants, but is the father that I want for my children. And I think a lot of y'all who are having children are just choosing the man that you like instead of choosing the father that your children are gonna have. Because that's what matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, how is this man going to show up for your kid? A lot of the times, the reason why baby mamas are called baby mamas is because you don't really hear anything about the baby daddy. It's the baby mama doing all the work. Like I said, you chose to have unprotected sex, therefore this is your responsibility. So of course, with me now being a transfer student, but also, you know, majoring, almost graduating from the U in African American and African studies and history, a lot of things literally stem and root in racism. When looking back at the archives that I went to during my history seminar, a lot of the history archives that I chose to look at because of the topics that we were able to choose from was abortion. And I specifically chose that because I wanted to see what it was like for women back then who had to deal with having their bodies controlled. And the one thing that stuck out to me the most was the way in which Black women were treated when it came to abortions. Abortions, especially pre-Roe v. Wade, were very taboo. Only the rich white woman could afford them, and they would also be very hush-hush, very secretive on who was performing them, but they were only accessible to rich white women. And so within reading the archives, a lot of the times I was saying these women were having these children because not only were birth control and other sexual education not given to the Black community, but also they would be forced to have these children and then forced to go on welfare because they wouldn't be able to afford having a child. So then it was also like, with them not being able to have access to abortion, obviously unsafe abortions became a thing, and And there was even this woman who mainly performed abortions, and she was kind of known as the Boston midwife. I'm pretty sure that's what they called her. But essentially she performed abortions on black women, and like in the archive that I was reading, in the account of it, it was basically saying that these women would be on their 4th, 5th, or 6th children and just can't afford to have kids anymore. But then they would also be talking about how she didn't like that women would show up and use her abortion services as a form of birth control. So I think that's also where it gets messy, because it's like these services are not offered, or even education around sex. And I think that's why, especially me as a black woman, I'm so open to talking about sex and why it should be something special and not just you getting pregnant or you having unprotected sex, because it's more than that. It's more about especially the person that you're having it with. And I feel like a lot of people are just very reckless when it comes to having sex, because like I said in my birth control video, it is not that hard to not get pregnant. You guys just keep having unprotected sex. So it's like, what do you expect when you have unprotected sex? Come on now. Also, within the archives, it also talked about when women are forced to be put in this position, they are forced to live in poverty. If you do not give them the option of being able to have an abortion, they are forced to live in poverty, because they are bringing up a child in an environment where they can't even sustain themselves. And I know a lot of y'all thinking, well, they shouldn't be having sex. You're having sex right now, let's be honest, and you can't even afford it. Like I said earlier, nobody talks about the Kardashians and how it is literally a whole bunch of white women, except Kourtney, who have baby daddies by black men. Nobody talks about that. It's because they're rich. And that's also another thing that I see is just so striking when it comes to comparing the two, is when it comes to the Kardashians or just any other famous person who has a baby daddy, they're not married, they're not whatever. And then on top of that, it's like, but when it's a black woman, it's a big deal. Another example, nobody talks about it, like if a white woman traps a black man, nobody talks about that. So that's where I'm just like trying to get at, where it's like this baby daddy, baby mama culture where kids don't really have parents or a 2-parent household to show them what love really is. I feel like that's what ruins the perception of kids and love, and that's why they grow up to be fucked up adults. I think just another aspect when it comes to looking at this is how even the welfare queen was a big thing back then, and that was a target on black women's back from the president. That's where I'm just like, we can't keep feeding into these stereotypes. Please. Also notice, like I've said, how nobody cares when you're a baby mama and you're rich. They only care when you're a baby mama and you're poor and you need assistance like WIC or food stamps or daycare services. There are so many things, and that's why I keep saying it's like the way in which these systems are set up is set up so that they can never change. And that's why whenever it comes to changing a system, we need to just abolish it and start all over again, because it's not going to be the same if you just keep putting a band-aid on top of it. And that's where it's like, it's frustrating, because black women are always the ones left out in the dust. And I even have felt like this for the past like week, where it just feels like I have to work fucking 100 times harder just to show that I should be a part of this brand, or I should whatever. So that's where it's like, within this situation, why do black women have to have 4 or 5 children that they don't want, that they're gonna end up presenting? And we've already seen cases like that, where it's when you don't have safe abortions available, women go and have unsafe abortions. And it's also the same people who are making these laws who don't even have a vagina. This is gonna sound very, very controversial. Obviously, when am I not sounding controversial? But to me, it's like looking at all the dating stuff online and seeing the way in which men operate. To me, and what I've heard a lot is, oh, you already gave him a baby, why would he want to marry you? And to me, that makes sense. It's because it's kind of like you have given him the most top level tier thing that you can give someone. A literal version of themselves. A version of themselves that isn't them, right? And so I mean by that is like, instead of telling him like, I want to be girlfriend, boyfriend, I want to be this and that, I want to be whatever, it's like, y'all just give them the baby right away. And then you expect marriage and a good relationship. Like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just like, maybe y'all were too young, you know, you want to get married in the future, whatever. I'm just strictly talking on baby mama culture. So think of famous people who be having kids, aren't married, all this other stuff. On top of that, people who just be opening the legs and just having children. Like, that's where I'm just like, bro, the reason why there's so much fucked up people is because fucked up people keep bringing up fucked up people into this world. Y'all do not want to do the healing that needs to be done. And then it's like, why do y'all put yourselves through this? I also think of Nick Cannon. That was on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, who else do I think of? Nick motherfucking Cannon, or the baby daddy from Atlanta. What are you doing? Those women I can excuse because they didn't know about each other, but like Nick Cannon's entourage of baby mamas, that is not something to be proud of. And that is like the main person I'm talking about when it comes to baby mama culture. Also, having that amount of kids, you as one parent, one person alone, cannot stretch your love around 12 children, 6 different women, 12 children, 6 women. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I refuse to be a part of any type of breeding ground. Thank you very much. I need to be married, ring on finger, bling bling blow, living in my dream house before I even think of bringing a child into this world. Also, have y'all seen this economy? Have y'all seen the political state of the world? I'm good at the moment. It's so funny because I used to think I wanted kids at like 22, 23. I'm 21 years old and I cannot see myself having a child at least within the next 5 years. Nope, nope, no. Maybe closer to like 26, 27, maybe even 28 when I've lived out my 20s. But to have a child this young? Hell no. Hell no. And I'm glad that I know that I do not want to bring a child into this world while I am this age because, bitch, no, I'm selfish. I am selfish, okay? If a man is not willing to put a ring on your finger, y'all should not be having unprotected sex. That is just my opinion. You don't want to have a pregnancy scare? Use protection. Use protection. You don't want to get pregnant? Use protection. Because y'all be acting like you use so many forms of protection when you're fucking raw and he's nutty in you and then you're surprised when you get pregnant. Pre-cum is also a thing too, might I add. Do not let a man talk you out of marriage if you know that's what you want. Because I had one try to talk me out of marriage and I was really like, oh, I don't need to get married. No, bitch. You're a black woman who has wanted to get married since you were a child and have a family. Don't ever let someone talk you out of something that you know is so like certain within you. If a man doesn't want to get married to you, it's, oh, we've been together for 10 years. He doesn't like you. He is literally just having you be a placeholder until he finds the next woman that he's been waiting on, where you don't give everything to him up front. And I feel like y'all staying around shows him that I'm here for the long run, even though that means you don't have to marry me, you don't have to give me the wedding. No, bitch. If that man don't want to marry you, another man will. If he doesn't want to commit, another man will. And this is what I was talking about earlier. How is a child less of a commitment than marriage? That will never make sense in my head, because y'all will sit here, have unprotected sex, then get pregnant, right? Bring a whole new being into this world. You have to raise them for at least 18 years of their life. And then that's a forever commitment. To me, a child, a person, that's a forever commitment. Marriage, if you don't like the nigga, you can get your shit annulled or fucking get a divorce. Boom, never have to see them again. A child will always connect you to this person no matter what. Every time you look at that child, boom, 50% of their DNA is in that child. That's why it's just so crazy to me that y'all are really laying down and just procreating with anyone. Anyone. Get it together. It is not fair for you to bring a child into this world when the father is not father material. That is not fair, because I think even a lot of us and a lot of people can see that the parents that they have, we're not ready to be parents at all. Or even just their parents pairing, they're not good together, but because they had a child, they stayed together. And that's where a lot of parents, they do that sometimes. They find out they're pregnant, oh, let's get married. You don't even like this person. What do you think bringing a child into the world is gonna do? Get an abortion. And that's the thing that gets hard, because not everybody believes in abortion. Not everyone believes in pro-choice, because I'm just like, get a fucking abortion. You don't know that man. You don't know that man. But I digress. A cheap ring is $100. $100. A box of condoms ranges from $10 to $20. A child is over $100,000 a year. Do you see how $110 versus $100,000 is a really big difference? A year. This is a year. This is just a one-time payment. You choose. You choose. Like I said, that makes absolutely no sense that you guys would rather choose paying $100,000 a year for a child versus fucking $20 for a box of condoms. And I know it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as good. But you know what also doesn't feel good? An abortion. You know what also doesn't feel good? $100,000. You know what also doesn't feel good? Waking up at fucking 3 a.m. to go feed your screaming newborn that you weren't prepared to have. If he tries to trap your ass, get up. Fucking abortion. I'm sorry, even if you don't believe in it, you do not deserve to carry someone's child who isn't even willing to be there for the child. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Can we please, babies are cute, but trauma isn't. Can we please stop bringing children into this world when you haven't even done one singular step to better your life, and then you're trying to bring a child into this world and drag them down with you? Because let's be real, as children, that's your motherfucking ride or die. If that's your mom, you're gonna ride for her. If that's your dad, you're gonna ride for him. So that's where it's just like, you're bringing someone in here to be your ride or die that didn't sign up to be. And that's not fair. That is not fair. Like I said, all you need to do, take that motherfucking pill, get that abortion. Sometimes if you're early enough, you can catch that shade. Just take a pill. You don't even gotta get an abortion. Take a pill, boom, bye. But this is 2024. We are, we're not standing for that. There's gonna be no trapping over here. We as women, like I have said, need to decenter men and focus on ourselves. It saddens me that a lot of women who know that they want to get married and know that they want to have the white picket fence, all that other stuff, are willing to settle for something that is a tenth of what they want just because a man showed them attention or just because they got pregnant the first time. No, it doesn't work out like that. Do not be like Nick Cannon and his baby mamas. Please do not be a part of an entourage of women that you have to contact with in order to talk to their half sibling. Could you imagine being like, yeah, I have one sister and 10 half siblings? What? Like, for me personally, I don't do half siblings. I don't say that shit like you're my sister, whatever. I think it's just so different because those kids are not growing up together. And like I've said earlier, as one person, as one father, you cannot stretch your love and give them the paternal love that they need. And I think that also is an issue with all these baby mamas because shit, they're making like fucking 200K just being a baby mama. I will never understand it though, because I will never be a baby mama. Never will you see me being a baby mama. And if I do, shoot me, because that means I've gone back on my morals. How about we close our legs, close the leg, and see what these men truly have to offer. Take sex off the table. Don't have sex when you get in a relationship for 3 months and see if that man is still around. That's all I'm saying. 3 months is an accurate time to really see how you interact with someone, how you really like their company, all that other stuff. All I am trying to say within this video, I know it just sounds like I'm constantly a hating ass fucking bitch. And I'm not. Let's stop being baby mamas. Let's stop giving these men children who don't deserve to be fathers, or they haven't even given you what you wanted. Marriage. Stop selling yourself short when there's someone out there who will give you everything that you want. Please. This video was definitely all over the place, rambling here, rambling there, but I just want to like stress the importance of baby mama culture and why you will never see me be a part of it. That is for my people. Please let us breathe. Let us just heal as a community instead of keep breaking us down, because y'all are just playing into the stereotypes sometimes, and it really be stressing me out because I can't keep defending you at every last breath. Sorry for the lighting, y'all. It has been gloomy all motherfucking weekend. I try to film, it just doesn't look good. This is the only day that I can film on because I gotta edit for the next 2 days so I can get the video up by Wednesday. We're staying consistent around here, okay? Okay, even if it's just a little jibber jabber video. Thank you. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, y'all.